Today we're going to look at dramatic moments from courtrooms. We'll see scenes involving drug leaders and even teenagers who have committed shocking crimes. It's sad because these teens should be out enjoying life, but instead they're caught up in serious situations like murder. Let's take a trip around the world and try to understand why these people did what they did. In first case, a 6-year-long trial in the Netherlands has concluded with a cocaine cartel leader who was the Netherlands' most wanted man receiving a life sentence. A court in the Netherlands has given the leader of a dangerous cocaine gang a life sentence. This decision comes after a series of murders and attempted murders. Prosecutors called the gang's action a well-organized killing operation. Rido and Taggy, along with 2 other gang members, received life sentences. 14 others got jail terms ranging from 21 months to 29 years after one of the biggest trials in Dutch history. The trial lasted nearly 6 years and saw 3 more related murders. It's insane. On court day, masked and armed police guarded the courthouse called the Bunker near Amsterdam. Judges whose names were not revealed and faces covered for their safety announced these sentences. Drones and a police helicopter hovered above. The judge said, "We're giving out sentences to all the suspects. Rido and Taggy will be in prison for life." The court decided Taggy was the main leader of a big drug group in the Netherlands. This case was called the Marengo trial. The judge also said the trial was fair. Taggy didn't come to the last day of the trial. He was caught in Dubai and brought back in 2019. Many people in the Netherlands were shocked by the trial. It showed how violent the drug world in the country is. The case was about 6 murders, 4 attempts at murder, and many plans for more attacks from 2015 to 2017. These were mostly aimed at people the gang believed were informing the police. Taggy was found guilty of 5 of the murders. The judge said he chose who would be killed and didn't spare anyone. The pain Taggy caused to the victims and the families is hard to even imagine. Neighbor B made a deal with the court. They said his testimony was truthful, but he still got a 10-year prison sentence. He helped the police. Taggy, once a big criminal in the Netherlands, supposedly kept controlling things and sending secret messages even from jail. Taggy's lawyer Ines Vasky got in trouble for that. They said she passed messages from Taggy to people outside and got arrested last April. She's out now, but still a suspect. Her lawyer says she can't talk to the police because of lawyer-client privacy. The prosecutors had an 800-page case. They used neighbor B's words and lots of secret phones that were used as evidence. They claimed the accused were part of a very bad group that did murders without any care. Finally, the crimes of Netherlands' most wanted man came to an end. What are your thoughts on this case? Sometimes unexpected things happen in court. So in this following moment, as judge throws drunk driver's mom in jail for laughing at victim's family in court, the judge made headlines for what she did in her courtroom. During a serious case about a drunk driving accident that led to someone's death, 2 people started laughing. Judge Lilliard didn't like that at all. She threw them out of the courtroom right away. Lilliard noticed that Emma Colesald's family was giggling. Amanda, who confessed to driving drunk and causing a crash that killed Jeremy Circa and badly hurt his fiancée Brandon Johnson last summer, was in court. Lydia didn't ignore it. Instead, she stopped the victim's family from speaking to talk to Amanda and the man involved in the crash. Whoever can sit here at a tragic moment like this and laugh and smile when somebody has lost a family member, and the entire time that Mr. Zerka's sister was speaking, that clown, and that's what I'm going to call him, a clown, was sitting there smiling and laughing, said Lillian. And then you can go too, the judge added, pointing to Colson's mother Donna. Because if you don't know how to act, you can go to jail, so leave. During a court hearing, a video showed a court officer leading Colson's mother out of the room because the judge said she go to jail for breaking court rules. Amanda Colson got a prison sentence of 3 to 15 years for causing a deadly car accident while drunk, which killed Zerka, a father of 5, as per news reports. Colson's mom, Donna, came back to court in front of the judge, Lilliard. She said sorry and her punishment was changed to just 1 day in jail, which she already served. After that, Judge Lilliard went on Facebook to thank the many people who watched the court video and those who talked to her personally. Next case went around the world, as for a long time court didn't solve the mystery of Natalee Holloway's disappearance. This came to an end finally last year. Jordan van der Sloot, who was believed to be the main person responsible for Natalee Holloway's going missing in 2005, admitted on court day finally that he did it. He also confessed to trying to get money from Natalee's family by threatening them. He was given a punishment of 20 years in jail. As part of an agreement he made with the court, van der Sloot promised to tell Natalee's mother Beth Holloway what he knows about what happened to her daughter when they were in Aruba. Van der Sloot admitted that he killed Natalee Holloway on a beach. He said he hit her face with a heavy block and then got rid of her body in the ocean. This information comes from part of a conversation he had with prosecutors on October 3rd. In that conversation, Van der Sloot said that Natalee wanted to go back to her hotel that night, but he suggested they get dropped up a bit away from her hotel so they could walk back together. He hoped this would give him another chance to be with her. As they were walking by themselves on the beach, Van der Sloot mentioned that he laid her down and they started kissing. Then Holloway asked him to stop. However, he continues to chase her and Natalee Holloway hit him in the crotch. Van der Sloot mentioned, according to the script, "When she knees me in the crotch, I get up on the beach and I kick her extremely hard in the face," he continued. He said that the teenager was lying on the ground, not moving, maybe even dead. Van der Sloot told the people in charge of the case that he found a heavy block on the beach and hit her head with it. Then he said he went into the ocean until the water reached his knees and pushed Natalee Holloway's body into it. On court day, the judge agreed to the plea deal. He said Van der Sloot killed 2 young women cruelly when they didn't agree to his advance. However, his confession about the Natalee Holloway case won't count against him. The judge decided to give Van der Sloot a 20-year prison sentence, which will happen at the same time as his sentence in Peru. He also has to pay money to Beth Holloway back. After court ended, Beth Holloway told reporters, "I got the answer I've been searching for the last 18 years. For me, reaching the end of the nightmares is better than closure." Next, decades the case known as the Gilgo Beach serial killings were questioned and not entirely clear. Now it looks like it's finally coming to an end. It was claimed that an architect, already facing charges for a series of killings at Gilgo Beach, is now being accused of the murder of another woman. This woman, a mother of 2 from Connecticut, disappeared in 2007. Her remains were discovered over 3 years later along a highway in New York near the coast. Rex Hoyerman got charged with killing Maureen Brainerd Barnes. This happened a few months after he got arrested last July for being the main suspect in the death of 3 other women. He said he didn't do it in Brainerd Barnes' case, just like he did it in other cases. In court, Hoyerman wore a dark suit and stayed quiet during court. He will stay in jail without bail. If he found guilty, he will get several life sentences without ever getting out of prison. Brainerd Barnes was the first woman who went missing out of the 4. The bodies were discovered in the same area near Gilgo Beach on Jones Beach Island in 2010, all within a short distance of about a quarter mile. Later search uncovered the remains of 6 more adults and a toddler who was the child of one of the victims. The police investigation determined that the 11th person found deceased in a marsh on the same island likely drowned accidentally. After they caught him, the police took almost 2 weeks to carefully search Hoyerman's house. They looked everywhere, even digging up the yard and taking parts of the porch and greenhouse. They also took many things from the house to test them. In the end, they found hundreds of electronic devices. According to papers from court, these devices had a lot of disturbing videos and images on them showing bondage and torture. The families of the victims are relieved to know that the person who did these terrible things will face justice soon. When you think it can get as bad as here, watch this young teenager ruin the life of a young girl that went viral. It's been more than a year and a half since they found a 20-year-old woman named Trenica Hopper shot in her head in a house on Morris Drive in Georgia. Now, a 25-year-old man from Gaffney named Joshua David Mosley, who lives on Wilkinsville Highway, has been accused of murdering her. They arrested Mosley earlier when they charged him with obstructing justice during the investigation to Hopper's death in 2017. Later they accused him of breaking into the house, and now they've added a charge of murder. Hopper passed away in 2017 at Spartanburg Medical Center, where she was getting medical help. The county coroner Dennis Fowler said that she was shot in the head around January 8 at home on Morris Drive. She didn't survive and died at 7 p.m. on the same day. The investigation into her death has been ongoing since it happened. Mosley was supposed to go to court in Cherokee County for a hearing about lowering his bond for charges he already did. But that hearing got delayed because the county sheriff's office gave Mosley a new charge for murder. On the morning, Mosley had a hearing in front of the county magistrate about the murder charge. The lawyer for the court, Barry Barnett, asked for Mosley to not get bond and said he could be a danger for the community and might run away. Judge Bart Howell agreed with the lawyer and said Mosley couldn't get bond, even though he was told he didn't have to say anything. Mosley decided to speak in court. He turned around to talk to the many members of Hopper's family who were there. "I did not harm her," he told them while breaking down in tears. He claimed Harper accidentally shot herself in the head. "We had no reason to be mad at each other," he said. Member of Harper's family didn't buy the excuse. They say Mosley tried to get rid of evidence from the house and threw it away under a bridge on the day of the shooting. Mueller explained that the investigators found the evidence on the same day. It was a safe life sentence for the horrific crime he did. In this court session, we witnessed Joseph McEnroe having a breakdown. He was found guilty of committing terrible crimes on Christmas Eve. On court day, Joseph McEnroe from Washington was declared guilty. He was found guilty of killing 6 members of his girlfriend's family. This terrible incident happened on Christmas Eve in 2007. The jury in King County took 2 days to make the decision, and they convicted McEnroe on 6 counts of first-degree murder with aggravating circumstances. 7 years passed before a decision was made about what happened to the Anderson family. It all took place in Carnation near Seattle. During the trial, the lawyers explained how McEnroe, Michelle Anderson, shot her parents, Wayne and Judy Anderson. While Judy was busy wrapping gifts, McEnroe tried to distract her, while Michelle shot Wayne. But the gun didn't work properly, so McEnroe ended up shooting both Wayne and Judy. This terrible event occurred during a Christmas Eve family dinner. After the shooting, McEnroe and Michelle hid the bodies in a shed in the backyard, according to the court documents. Then Anderson's brother Scott came with his wife Erica and their 2 children, Nathan 3 and Olivia 5. Tragically, they were also shot and killed. Anderson lived in a mobile home with McEnroe on her parents' land. The prosecutor said they were mad because Anderson's parents didn't pay their rent. The defense brought in Dr. Donald Dutton, a psychology professor at the University of British Columbia. He said McEnroe was a victim of something called folie à deux. Dr. Dutton explained that because McEnroe lived with Anderson, he started to believe her when she said she was badly mistreated by her family. After about 3.5 days of thinking, the jurors in King County decided not to give McEnroe the death penalty. Instead, they suggested he should spend his life in prison without any chance of getting out. One juror said she was one of the 4 who voted against the death penalty. Throughout the discussions, it was split of 8-4. I don't know if I can sum it up. It was just one of these mitigating factors: McEnroe's childhood, the mental health issues, everything that they listed up there. And that's what ultimately made me decide. What are your thoughts on the verdict? Comment it down below, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video. A guy accused of trying to kill 2 people spit on a judge in court. His name is Bass Webb, and he's 30 years old. He was in court because they said he tried to run over Deputy Ron Barkley and Officer Josh Mason. This happened outside the Bourbon County Jail. At court, he said he didn't do it. District Judge Vanessa Dixon stepped away from the case because she knows Barkley and Mason, according to Dixon's clerk. Asbury mentioned that Webb spat in Dixon's face. Deputies then escorted Webb out of the courtroom. Asbury clarified that no charges had been filed regarding the spitting incident. Following the incident, Webb attempted to run over 2 officers. He then led the police on a chase until his car caught fire. During his arrest, Webb informed officers that he killed a woman on New Lair Road. Later, officers found the body inside a single-family residence. Therefore, the jury decided a 37-year prison term. Next case is one of the most scary scenarios for a woman. A homeless man followed a woman into a restroom at a car dealership in Seattle back in 2018. He then raped her. He admitted to his crime and has now been sent to prison for it. A judge in King County sentenced Christopher Thiel, who was 27 years old, to spend at least 8.5 years in prison. He could be in prison for longer if a review board decides he might do another sex crime. Court papers say Thiel was found guilty of first-degree rape and unlawful imprisonment for something he did on May 14, 2018. When investigators looked into his past, they saw he had mental issues when he was around 19 and 20 years old. The 40-year-old woman who went to a place called Carter's Motors in West Woodland to get her car fixed. She was waiting for a shuttle bus to take her to work. She needed to use the bathroom, but the dealership was being fixed up, so the only bathroom available was a portable one outside. It was at the end of a long ramp and not close to the building. The sentenced man is tall and weighed around 250 pounds during the 2018 incident. Went after the woman into the restroom. He pushed open the stall door, grabbed her neck and dragged her out of the stall. Then he choked her and pinned her down on the floor. He said to her, "You want this? God wants this," before sexually assaulting her. He was able to gain access to the stall. That's when he was able to grab me by the throat and my shoulder, and he threw me down on the ground in front of the handicap store, and we fought for several minutes, the woman told later to an officer. According to the charges, during the attack, the woman fought with Teal and screamed for help. When the shuttle driver got to the dealership and couldn't find her, he started looking around. Eventually, he heard her screams and asked for help from a staff member. They gathered outside the bathroom door, but the woman was trapped. When they heard banging on the door, Teal got up, allowing the woman to unlock it. When they were seen, Teal looked messy and the woman was crying. The dealership worker asked what happened and the woman said she had been raped. Teal attempted to run away from the place, but a worker caught and held him until the police came. Teal, who came to Seattle from Texas in 2016, was only 24 years old and didn't have a place to live when the attack happened. As per the court documents. Before this incident, Teal had never been in trouble with the law according to court documents. The report also says that he lost over 100 pounds, which were the jail health workers. They also noticed that Teal's mental and physical health got worse during this time. Because of this, doctors had to give him more medicine injections against his will. Following dramatic moments happened when a woman from Kentucky got more charges against her because she attacked a judge in family court. The judge, Jennifer Edwards, was dealing with a complaint about domestic violence against Melissa Hardwick, who she is separated from. During the hearing, things went crazy when Hardwick got a 10-day sentence. She suddenly jumped across the bench and security had to come in quickly. Video footage of what happened shows Hardwick's husband talking about why he got the order. Then Hardwick interrupts and keeps talking. Even after the judge warns her, she could get in trouble for disobeying the order to be quiet. The judge Edwards then decided on the punishment. This made the woman throw herself over the bench. 3 security officers had to take Hardwick down. Luckily, Judge Edwards wasn't hurt, but Hardwick got some scratch on her face. Court security officer Adam, who helped control the woman, mentioned that he had only seen something like this during his training. Dodson, speaking to News, said, "I've been working here for 3.5 years, and this is the first time something this serious has happened." As a consequence of her actions, Hardwick was sentenced to 120 days in jail for contempt of court. Which courtroom moment do you think was not judged fairly in today's video? If you know court cases that could be featured on the channel, please write it in the comment section. Take a second to write your thoughts down below. Please subscribe to our channel and check out one of the videos here. See you in the next video. Take care.